Welcome to Evolution in Controls. I'm your host, Tim Wilson. Thanks for joining us. When we think about automation, it's easy to picture the moving parts, the robots, the conveyors, the hydraulic systems. But behind all of that motion is something less visible and just as critical: the intelligence that tells it all what to do. That's the role of industrial control systems. They're the decision makers, the ones responsible for timing, safety, precision, and coordination. Whether it's a split-second adjustment or a full process overhaul, controls are what turns mechanical systems into smart automation. As machines grow more complex and more connected, the demand for smarter, faster, more flexible control only increases. At Evolution Motion Solutions, we have a team built for exactly that. Our Industrial Controls Solution Group focuses entirely on designing and programming the systems that bring automation to life, from PLCs and HMIs to safety, drive, and I/O architectures. Here to walk us through how this team helps customers manage complexity, optimize performance, and build future-ready systems is Mr. John Jackson, Business Development Manager at Evolution Motion Solutions. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tim.
Well, you've been with us before, but you might as well just give us a little introduction about how long you've been here, a little of your background, and what you're doing.
Yes, I've been here almost 6 years,
Okay.
and I started in the automation world in 1987. Did about 10 years in the food industry, automating food processing plants,
Okay.
where I started. I'm a chemical engineer by degree, and that led me down that path. Controls was always the necessary evil. I finally just learned it myself, and was able to put out a lot of fires, and then switched to the automotive industry, and where I really was in you're building a part every 35 seconds.
Okay.
So it's a very fast-moving, very high stress environment of the just-in-time world, but we did it very well, and we're still doing it very well. But the company has been in this industry since the mid-90s in the automotive automation world, and we are very fluent in it.
So, Industrial Controls Group, or a dedicated solutions group, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it starts with the mechanical team of the Motioneers, who will...
It's our conceptual engineering group.
They're conceptual, and they also, let's say you have a servo application that requires a gearbox, mounting information, that kind of stuff. They will conceptualize that for us. They will deliver a step file to the customer so they can put it into their design, and so that's usually where the things start. Then we sit down with our...
They're not designing a full-blown mechanical system.
No, they are not. They're just helping us with the accessories that are required for an installation.
Okay, all right.
So then we once we've generated a proposal, we get the order. It goes to our hardware design team, which we have a team here in Michigan.
Electrical hardware design.
Electrical hardware design in Michigan. We have a software design team in Michigan.
Okay.
We have a large panel build facility here, and we have our software team goes out with the equipment and does the startup and production support with the project.
Sounds like 20 or 30 people.
Yeah, I think in total we're up approaching 50 with all the panel build labor. So it's a pretty good sized facility. We are a UL shop, which in the automotive industry it's an absolute requirement.
UL for panel build?
For panel build, correct.
Okay.
We do a lot of applications where there's certification required, and we're very good at working with certifiers.
Well, what kind of work do we do? I mean, are we doing small projects, big projects? Does somebody come to us with a problem, or do they come to us at the beginning of a project?
There's a combination of that. A lot of our work is, we have a problem, this system's old, we need to retrofit it to the latest technology.
Okay.
For instance, one of the automotive companies came to us and said, our powertrain lines, their engine build facilities, need to have no obsolescence until 2038. So we had to come up with a solution, and we sat down with Rexroth and said, can you live with those dates, and they formulated a way that they can with the combination of warranties and everything else.
Okay.
And so we sold it to the company, the customer, and just put our first one in in the past few weeks. It went very well, and
Got signed off.
got signed off.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was, anytime you're working an auto plant, there's a very limited shutdown period, and this is a high volume engine. They're their number one product, so
Okay.
you had to be very careful not shutting them down. So there's that risk, but with each one we're getting better. We have a complete design now, so. Every project you do that's repetitive, the first one's going to be the toughest, but then after that,
Sounds like
easier.
a massive program or
It is.
project.
It is. This particular company, between 4 powertrain plants, has $60 million worth of upgrades they need to do. And we've quoted it, and we said this is a 4-year project to do that.
So do we only focus on big projects like that?
No, we have a lot of smaller projects.
One guy, one task.
Maybe a hardware designer for 40 hours, a software designer for 40 hours, and the software. Then we'll send out wire technicians to hook it up, and then we will start it up. And usually you're in and out of the project in a month on those kind of things. Okay. So we do large and small. We're known for the large, but the small is. It's just as important in a lot of ways.
Are there certain kinds of projects that we try to avoid?
Well, the risk, you got to evaluate on all these projects, what is the risk to the company? And,
what risk do you mean?
The risk
financial or?
Can we do this cleanly? Can we do what they're talking about cleanly? Can we make this work with no issues? We have to have pretty close to zero downtime. In the automotive environment, you have to be able to recover within 10 minutes of any issue. So we have to design that in.
Are retrofits riskier than new projects?
Yes. They're risky in that you're dealing with old equipment. First thing you have to do is power down the whole line, and you're powering.
What if it doesn't start back up?
It doesn't start. It's 30-year-old equipment, and it's in this installation we had a few things that didn't start back up, and they failed. So they had to step in and replace those and get that line ready to run. But it's a risk for our customer too.
Okay.
They have to have this thing running, on time. They cannot miss dates. It's whereas we deal with other industries where it's not as critical. The equipment working is always critical, but the just-in-time element is not present in every
so
job.
risk is one factor. Are there any other factors? Size or type of project?
Timing, delivery. Delivery has been an issue. Somebody's expecting us to turn something around in 4 to 8 weeks, and we got to buy materials where we can already tell them that we have a problem right out of the gate. And we need enough time to do these projects, get everything in, test everything. We go through everything that we build on our floor here. We go through a pretty elaborate test to make sure that it's functional, wired properly, and we have our own internal buy-off, and that's very important.
Are there industries that we tend to specialize in? Are there industries that we tend to don't have a lot of experience in?
Obviously, in being in Michigan, automotive,
right?
The aerospace has been basically it was actually an offshoot of the automotive. It was automotive guys started build shops here in Michigan, and it flowed from that. But we are experts in the aerospace market.
That's probably a whole different sector.
It is, absolutely is. And with our new friends in the South, with our merger, we're opened up to oil and gas, which is an exciting avenue. And that's both really Texas and North Dakota. And
is the oil and gas, would that be more retrofit or would that be new projects?
That is new exciting projects. They're the oil pads are very dangerous places to work. So hazardous work. It's an explosive. These things explode all the time. So they're looking to automate, and they want to get the workers out of harm's way. So you'll have a trailer maybe 100 feet away, and there'll be operators operating that automation from a remote, safe place.
So we're not necessarily retrofitting something. We're actually trying to redesign it so that
Correct.
it takes less people.
And the exciting thing that we've given them is Rexroth has got it's a fairly new platform called ControlX, which is it's a PLC based, but it's very user-friendly in that you can program in multiple languages. The new engineers don't want to program ladder logic. They want to
Do
program
they even teach it anymore?
I don't think so. They need old guys like me to come in there and do the ladder logic for them. But it's an exciting because the younger engineers are interested in this product. And one really exciting thing we're doing in the oil industry is that as the data is there, we're implementing a Starlink node that will
So you're putting a Starlink with the ControlX to give real-time data access.
Yes, so there can be people.
Telemetry.
Yes, there are people that are working at the oil companies that can literally have the data on their cell phone. It's just going to a website that they'll be given privileges to, and they can see real-time data on how things are going. Because a lot of these sites are so remote, especially when you get into the Middle East and Saudi Arabia and North Dakota and in Midland, Texas. You know, you're hour from anything. So,
Well, that sounds like a new, exciting market. What do you see the future looking like? What if you look 3 years down the road, John? What do you see?
There's two avenues. The really exciting technologies such as ControlX, such as the new servo-based systems is very exciting. The new applications is just everywhere we go, we get really good reception on this. So that part is really exciting. Then there's the retrofit. It's a great opportunity to the company. It just we got to tread lightly and do our jobs very well, in which we are
Try and keep the risk low.
Keep the risk for both our customer and us at a minimum.
You know, you talked about gas and oil. There's not a lot of gas and oil up here in the Midwest. That's down south. Are there other industries that you're focusing on, or are you looking geographically for expansion?
Geographically, Texas is obvious because of oil and gas. There's everything there. There's automotive, there's oil and gas, there's electronics, there's
General automation?
general automation. Yes, there's plenty of opportunities there. And then aerospace with Huntsville, Alabama is an exciting one.
Aerospace.
Aerospace. And then always the Midwest with the automotive and general automation. There's a lot of other people there's a lot of tier ones, tier twos that are producing for the large automotive people that we do business. We've been doing business with a lot of these people, and so we look for projects at those places as well. We have a great sales force that brings the opportunities to me. I can't be everywhere at once, but every day I'm getting a call on something new, which is great, and we've doubled our sales force with the merger, and it's just that doubled my opportunity. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Sounds like maybe you need to set up an apartment in the South.
that's a possibility. I'll one of these days I'll ask about it. But I've been going down there. Problem with Texas, it's a big state. I made the mistake of planning a trip where I went to San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas in 1 week, and not realizing how far everything is in it. But there's just so many different regions, cultures, everything in Texas that I think it's a very exciting opportunity. It's just.
Do you think they'll have an industrial controls group headquartered in the South or based in the South?
I would love to see them do that, because I think you need to have boots on the ground wherever you're working. You can't have people that have to get on a plane to go work on something if there's a problem. You know, and most places won't let us put remote access to the tooling, and they have IT issues with that. So you got to be there. So I think that's the obvious move, and hopefully the powers that be here are looking at that. And I think not only in the engineering aspect, but panel build. There's and there's a lot that goes into that. We are a UL shop, so you would have to build a UL shop in the South.
Sounds to me like you need to book that $60 million order
Yeah.
to pay for some of this expansion.
Yeah, I think I'll have their attention if I could make that happen.
John, I appreciate the time. Thanks for coming back again. You're a repeat guest, and I like having you here.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. To learn more about Evolution Motion solutions in our industrial controls capability, visit evolutionmotion.com. Don't forget to subscribe to Evolution in Controls on whatever platform you use for podcasts or on YouTube for a video version so you can be updated when we release new episodes. I'm Tim Wilson, and thank you again for joining us. Remember, keep moving.